Let's get started. Start with listening, and then learn new words and practice them in sentences.
Have you ever wondered how the U.S. chooses its presidential candidates? It's a question that prompts a journey into the complex and critical world of U.S. primary elections. A prelude to the grand political match, primary elections are the arenas where the initial battles are fought and potential leaders are sifted from the crowd. These elections shape the political landscape, influence candidate viability, and set the trajectory of presidential campaigns. Stay tuned as we delve into the fascinating process of U.S. primary elections. To comprehend the U.S. primary elections, one must first understand the very purpose they serve. Primary elections, often simply referred to as primaries, play a crucial role in the United States political system. They are preliminary elections that take place before the main event, the general elections. The primary purpose of these elections is to nominate candidates who will represent their respective political parties in the general elections. This applies to all levels of government, from local to state and federal. Imagine a big family gathering where you have to decide on which pizza to order. Everyone has their preferences, but you can only order a couple. So, you hold a mini vote to decide on the most popular pizzas. This is similar to a primary election. The pizzas in this case are the potential candidates, and the family members are the registered voters of a political party. Through primaries, political parties can gauge which candidates are most appealing to their voters. This helps them select strong contenders who are likely to succeed in the general elections. In a nutshell, primaries act as a kind of testing ground for candidates, allowing parties to present their best representatives to the public. Importantly, primaries also give voters a voice in the candidate selection process. They are a way for the electorate to participate in shaping the political landscape by choosing candidates who best represent their interests and values. Now that we understand the purpose, we can explore the different types of primaries. Primaries come in different flavors: open, closed, and semi-closed. Let's take a moment to understand the uniqueness of each. Firstly, open primaries. These are inclusive by nature, welcoming voters regardless of their party affiliations. In an open primary, you, as a voter, can choose to vote in either party's primary, regardless of your registered party. It's a bit like an all-you-can-eat buffet, where you can pick and choose from different options. Next, we have closed primaries. In contrast to the open-door policy of open primaries, closed primaries are a bit more exclusive. Only registered members of a particular party can vote in that party's primary. Think of it as a private club, where only members are allowed in, and they can only vote for candidates within their club. Then, there's the semi-closed primary, a sort of hybrid of the first two. In a semi-closed primary, registered party members can vote in their party's primary, but unaffiliated voters can choose which party's primary to vote in. It's like a selective buffet, where some dishes are reserved for regular customers, but first-timers can still have a taste. These primary types, each with its unique characteristics, form the backbone of the U.S. primary election system. They serve to ensure that the process is democratic and inclusive, while also maintaining a certain degree of party loyalty and discipline. Along with these primaries, another significant element in the election process is the caucus. Caucuses and delegates play pivotal roles in the U.S. primary election process. Let's start with caucuses. A caucus is a local meeting where party members select candidates to be nominated for public office. It's a bit like a community gathering, where discussions and debates take place and votes are cast. The caucus system is a grassroots-level approach to democracy, where community members come together to voice their preferences and select their party's candidates. Now, on to delegates. Delegates are individuals chosen to represent their states at their party's national conventions. They are crucial because they are the ones who officially nominate the presidential candidates. But how are these delegates allocated, you ask? Well, it's based on the results of the primary elections or caucuses. Each state has a certain number of delegates proportionate to its population. There are two types of delegates, pledged and unpledged. Pledged delegates, also known as bound delegates, are obligated to support the candidate who won the primary or caucus in their state. Unpledged delegates, also called superdelegates, are free to support any candidate at the convention. Delegate allocation can be proportional, where delegates are distributed in proportion to the vote each candidate gets, or it can be winner-take-all, where the candidate with the most votes gets all the delegates. The early primary states also hold a special significance in the U.S. primary elections, but we'll delve into that in our next segment. Stay tuned. Iowa and New Hampshire, the early primary states, often set the tone for the rest of the campaign. These states, small though they may be, wield extraordinary influence in determining the trajectory of presidential campaigns. But why is that? Well, the answer lies in the timing. Being the first to vote, Iowa and New Hampshire offer candidates their initial test of electability and momentum. The results here act as a bellwether, signaling to the rest of the nation which candidates have the potential to go the distance. Media and political pundits scrutinize these early contests closely, analyzing vote patterns and voter behavior. A strong showing can propel a candidate into the national spotlight, boosting their chances in subsequent primaries. On the flip side, a poor performance can cast a shadow of doubt, often leading to dwindling support and resources. So, while they may not be the largest or most populous states, they play a pivotal role in shaping the narrative of the campaign. Primary outcomes, as we will see, have a profound impact on the political landscape. Primary outcomes can make or break a candidate's campaign. When a candidate wins a primary, it's not just about securing delegates. The victory also propels them into the limelight, enhancing their viability and often triggering a domino effect in subsequent primaries. Now, let's delve into the strengths and weaknesses of the primary system. One notable strength is that it encourages voter participation. Primaries give voters the power to shape the candidate field and influence the direction of their political party. This active participation is a cornerstone of democracy, fostering a sense of ownership and engagement among the electorate. However, the primary system is not without its flaws. One criticism is that it can lead to party polarization. As candidates vie for support within their party, they often adopt more extreme positions to appeal to the party base, which can widen the ideological divide between parties. Another concern is the influence of money in politics. Campaigning for primaries is a costly affair, and candidates often rely on substantial funding to fuel their campaigns. This can give an unfair advantage to wealthier candidates or those backed by powerful interest groups, potentially skewing representation. Despite these drawbacks, it's worth noting that the primary system is a critical mechanism for candidate selection. It provides a platform for a diverse range of voices to be heard, from the grassroots to the establishment. It tests the mettle of candidates, their ideas, and their ability to rally support, all of which are key attributes for any public office. Yet it's important to continue the conversation on how to refine this system. How can we ensure it remains accessible and representative? How can we mitigate the influence of money and reduce polarization? These are complex issues that require thoughtful debate and innovative solutions. In conclusion, the impact of primary outcomes extends beyond the political landscape. They shape the narrative, the discourse, and the very fabric of democracy. It's clear that primary elections play a crucial role in shaping the democratic process and representing diverse voices within the electorate.
Let's learn new words and practice English with the topic, Understanding U.S. Primary Elections at a B2 level. Primary election. Primary election, an election used to select a party's candidate for a specific elective office. This primary can be open, closed, or semi-closed depending on state laws. Example, during the primary election, voters decide which of the Democratic or Republican candidates will represent their party in the national elections. Delegates. Delegates, individuals chosen to represent their states at national party conventions. The number of delegates and the rules governing their selection vary widely among states. Example, winning the most delegates is crucial for a candidate aiming to secure their party's nomination for president. Caucus. Caucus, a meeting of supporters or members of a specific political party or movement. In some states, this is the method used to select delegates instead of a primary election. Example, instead of casting ballots, participants in a caucus gather in local meetings to discuss and vote for their preferred candidate. Super Tuesday. Super Tuesday, a significant day in the U.S. presidential primary process when the largest number of states hold primary elections and caucuses. Example, Super Tuesday can be a turning point in the primary season, as it determines a large portion of the delegates. Nomination. Nomination, the official endorsement of a candidate for office by a political party. Example, achieving the nomination at the National Convention is essential for a candidate looking to run in the presidential election.
Thank you for watching. Like, write a comment of more than 4 words to support us, and subscribe to the channel so as not to miss new videos. Goodbye.